Hello everyone! Hello all to the White Rose Crafters. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do some of the cutting for the new limited edition Four Seasons of Fairies kit put together by White Rose Crafts. So the first thing that I have done is I have found a piece of packaging that I want to use for my cover and my spine. So this is just a dishwasher soap box. Now with these boxes you want to make sure that they don't have a scent. The dishwasher tabs that were in here were in a separate packaging, so there's no scent, there's no spills, there's nothing on the cardboard. The cardboard is completely clean. And then I took a sanding block and just simply sanded down the cover all the way around where there was color and shine or gloss. My book cover has a 3-inch spine, so 3 inches here. I'm going to put 4 signatures in here at 0.75 inches apart. This portion of the book, which is the same size as the front cover, so this will be the back cover, is 7.5 inches from the spine across, and it is 6.75 inches from the base here to the top. So those are important measurements to keep in mind as you're working along. You can make your book any size that you would like. I wanted my cover to be a little bit bigger than the pages, and I wanted them to comfortably fit the 6x6 pages that the Pion paper is. Then I used 4 of these file folders, and I'm going to show you how I cut them down because I wanted them to be the covers of each of the signatures, just like so. So we're going to have a little tab on the back, and on the front we're going to use this wonderful die cut from Ultimate Crafts that is the ornate window frame. This also comes inside the kit that you can that you have gotten from White Rose Crafts if you are following along. So let's get started, and I'll show you how I cut these file folders and did the die cutting. Okay, I apologize if this video is a little wonky. This is not my normal recording setup. So the first thing we want to do is cut our file folders, and I use the ones with the middle tabs. These do not come in the kit, but they are just any standard file folder that you might have around your home office or can get at an office supply store. So our dimensions here, this is 6.5 inches across this way. So everything is content. So we want to make sure that our tab is kind of centralized and that we have 6 inches across this way. So just take your ruler and a pen and kind of figure out where the 6.5 is, and then figure out about where the center part of your tab is. I don't really care for precise, but let's see if we can make it a little bit. I just kind of measure accordingly. Let's see how we did here. Did I do this? You can see I probably measured on this one for something else. And then you can just cut it where your lines are. So let's do that. Now if you're using a trimmer like this one, these file folders are a little thicker than your normal cardstock, and it might actually dull your blade, so just be aware of that. And you might have to give it a couple passes to get all the way through. I'll cut this one down here. Okay, so the next thing I did, you can see this is a little longer than the one that I have here. So what I did was I opened this up here, and I ended up cutting off this side and then redoing the fold. So let me tell you how many inches I actually cut off here. 4 inches. So I cut off 4 inches from this side. That also took off the little divot of the file folder. If you like to leave that there, you can put it back in if you want. I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to go to 4 inches, and we're just going to cut that off. This could also be used as a pocket inside the file folder, so if you want to save that, throw anything away. Okay, so we got to here. Then all I did was I just simply took it and redid the fold up to my edge up here. And gave it a good crease down at the bottom here. So the next thing that we have to do, let's just make sure this is right. Yes, it is. Okay. You can clean up any edges if you need to, but this is how we get this jacket for each of the signatures. Then we're going to go ahead and make this window die cut, and we'll do that next. Okay, so now that we have our little jacket cut, we're going to save these pieces here. If you want to put this little divot back in, you'll want to do it now. So you just can simply trace this, put the divot in there, and cut it out before you do the die cutting of the window. But I personally liked it without, because then it just keeps it clean for the window. Okay, so we're going to be using our die cut. Now you will need a die cut machine. Of course, the die cut machine does not come with the kit. You have to have that on your own. It works in several different machines. You can use a Gemini, you can use a Quick Cuts, you could use anything that takes these metal dies. I'm going to be using an Ellison Big Shot or Sizzix Big Shot. This is just an older one of my longtime faves that I keep around. Okay, as far as the sandwich goes, you need to set it up to do the thin metal dies. So for me, that is my multi-purpose platform. You can see that here. It has all this thickness on tab 2. Tab 2 right there. Okay, then we need one of our acrylic plates. We need our die cut, which I somehow got back in the packaging here. There we go. So, and the cutting surface, you can see it has, it has the kind of more grooved edge. That's the side we want to put down onto our medium that we are cutting. Now this is just a little bit bigger, but what I do is I just kind of fold it down. It's going to bend your file folder just a little bit, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. And we want to put the back side of the file folder kind of through the machine, because we don't want to cut on that. We just want to cut on this one side, like this. So you can see just this one side here. And we don't want to cut on the back, unless if you want a window on the back. You could cut a window on the back, but I think if you did that, you're going to have to cut it 2 different times, because this is a thin metal die and it doesn't cut through such thick surfaces all at once. So, okay, so we've got our multi-purpose platform on tab 2. We've got our acrylic plate. We've got our file folder stuck through, and it is a little bit bigger than the platform, so it might bend on the edges, but that's okay. I just kind of tried to find the center part here. So just kind of center it. You can make it more close to the edge if you want to. The doors of the window are going to open, so you want to keep that in mind. So I kind of put mine with a little bit of a space on each side. Then you put your other acrylic plate here, just like so. And I like to kind of hold it. You can tape it if you want to. I'm not much of a taper. I seem to just hold mine. Put my fingers over here to hold it in place, and back through a second time, so 2 passes. And that should give us our window. And it does stick a little bit in here because it's so thick. You can use your pokey tool or whatever you have to get it out. It comes out really nicely though. There we go. You can see our window opens and closes. We've got our little dash lines here. And then this is actually really cute, but you could keep it in there just like that. I just took these out. You could save these little squares, use them in a cluster or something later. And let's see. Let's roll this on out. And you can see it does give a little crease on the side here, but that's okay. It just folds right back down. And you're like, but Shauna, the window isn't working. That's all right. We're going to fix that later. So just save both of your pieces. What I did with mine is I used just a little post-it note to keep the sleeves and the signatures according to the season for each of the 4 seasons. So that little sticky note is kind of holding my little window right there. And next we're going to chat about the papers, but before we get too far, if you want to cut some extra ones of the windows, I cut some of mine out of book page, and it looks so cute. And while you have your die cutter out, if you have a tag die cut, you could cut some tags or just use your extra papers to make tags. But I do love these little windows cut out of book page, and I'm going to be using those as well, so I will show you in upcoming videos how we will be doing that. So for now, let's get moving into cutting our papers. In the kit, you're going to get 3 12x12 pages of these cut-aparts, and they are absolutely wonderful for your ephemera. This one is called the Four Seasons of Fairies 2. Let's take a look at this one. Super cute. Now these were all on one 12x12 paper, and I just simply cut them apart. These ones I haven't cut apart yet because I wasn't sure how I'd want to use them because they're smaller. I love this one. Sprinkle your fairy dust wherever you go. And then here's a flower. All you need is faith, trust, and a little fairy dust. I love that. Some extra flowers. Now before you cut these apart, you might want to take some Nuvo drops or some stickles, or maybe both, and do some decorating and enhancements there with those, and then let it dry and then cut them apart. You can also do that once it is cut apart. Let's see. How many do I have here? Yeah. So you can see this was one big 12x12 piece of paper that I just simply cut apart into all of these rectangular shapes so that we can use them in the book. You can make these as tags. They're white on the back, so this is great for doing some journaling cards, some tags, some tuck spots. And I plan to use these fairies, especially this one. I love her. She's super cute. Behind the little windows that we have made. So if you take one of the windows that you've cut out and just kind of picture it like this, then you can open this cute little window and you'll see this awesome little fairy. I wish this had been my idea, but this was Kay's vision of seeing the fairies through the window. So Kay from White Rose Crafts, touche to you, my friend, because this looks so cute. We kind of collaborated together on what we thought the overall kit should be worked like. So I came up with 4 signatures, one for each of the seasons, and she envisioned the window. So it's kind of a collaborative effort, and it's coming together so smoothly. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Let's look at Four Seasons of Fairies, page 1. So again, the same thing. I just did the cut aparts of the 12x12 paper. And you can cut them however you'd like. You can leave the trims around them, or you can cut them off, whichever you so choose. But again, it has these cute little fairies, lots of beautiful flowers, and you can enhance these with your Nuvo drops or stickles or inks, however you would like. You could ink the edges for some extra contrast. And then I do plan to use Nuvo drops and stickles on mine. I kind of have this rule that everything that has wings needs to have sparkle on the wings. I don't know, that's a personal rule. So if it's something that you would like to do too, definitely do that. It's much easier before you put it into the book. So these ones, you can make some little cards. They say birthday greetings. I plan to actually cut this out and maybe make that like a little shaker with some sequins. So save all of these pieces, even the ones you don't think you'll be using in the book, because we just might. Look at these beautiful little fairies. I love them. Pion Designs did a great job with their fairy colors. And I love this one too, so fun. Again, these make great frames. You can put photos behind them. We could make shakers behind them. We could put a sentiment behind them. Sprinkle your fairy dust wherever you go. That's so cute. So again, lots of fun shapes. Look at this little fairy. That's so cute. More beautiful flowers. I'm loving the purple. and then with love and my fairy tale. So if you're giving this as a gift, this would be really, really cute. You could put that at the back and sign your name in the book. Or again, you could use it for a card. You could make a card to go with your book if you are giving it as a gift. How wonderful would that be? Okay, so let's just check out the papers. I'm just going to show you one season because they are mostly the same to cut. So they come as a 12 by 12 page, and you do get 4 of these, so you get 16 total 6 by 6 sides. So when I cut them across horizontally into 6 by 12 so that they could be folded like this. I hope that makes sense. Let's look at it one more time. So it comes as a 12 by 12 sheet, and then I cut it horizontally 6 by 12 so that it can be folded like this. Now don't freak out, the fairies will be on the back, but as you're flipping through the book, it'll be on the left for that, and that's okay. And then this one here, same thing, just some decorative paper. Again, very beautiful paper from Pion Designs. Now I did back mine with some cardstock. This is a page from a recollection sheet from Michaels. It's a paper pad from Michaels, and then they also had this like cardstock solid color in the same pack. So you can pair it with any cardstock that you would like that coordinates. And then once I had my 6 by 12 sheets cut, I put this on the back. So you just glue, let's see here. You just glue the top and the bottom here, and then you stick it together like this. You do like this, and then you fold it. And then I used a circle punch. I believe it's a 2-inch punch, and I just used half of it to make this notch for where the pocket goes. And then you'll do that all the way through the book with all of these papers. I did an extra one just out of cardstock, 2 sides of cardstock in each signature, just so I could have 2 extra pockets. And then I also did 1 page of just cardstock by itself, not backed with anything, so it's just a white back. That way I could have a few extra papers in my book. Now you might also want to do packaging paper or some smaller sheets of paper from where you cut them down. If you do the packaging paper, I will show you I will show you how I cut this here in the next little clip, so stay tuned. This is just packaging paper that I folded in half and I cut down to size. I cut it down to 6 by 6, and then I used a die cut to scallop the edge, and I've got 3 of those in each signature. Now you might also use ledger paper, tracing paper, book page. You can use just about anything that you would like to add filler papers to your signatures. But this is how mine's going to go. So I have the paper from Pion here in pocket form and another pocket form, and then I have my pocket made out of cardstock. Then I have a plain page out of cardstock. Then I have this smaller page out of cardstock, and 3 of these packaging papers with a scallop cut here. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I usually do anywhere from 7 to 10 pieces of paper in each signature, just as a personal preference, but we do have quite a big spine on this one with 3 inches to work with. So I think we should be set. And here I'll show you how I did this cut. Okay, so once you're done with all of your cutting, you'll have your jacket, whatever you want to use, even if it's just chipboard that you're going to piece together, that's totally fine as well. Or you might have some sort of recycled packaging to use like I do, and that's great. Then you're going to have your winter packet, and it's going to have all of your packaging papers if that's what you're using, your littler piece, these beautiful little fairy papers, I love that one. And then cardstock paper, cardstock pocket, and then the other Pion fairy paper. Look how cute this winter one is, absolutely adorable. And then it'll go into the jacket like this. And you've got your window cut out, and you're keeping The negative space will be on, the negative space of your die cut will be on the file folder, and then you're keeping the window piece. We're gonna put that in later. Then you'll have your one for spring that we just did together. Now my file folder up here has a little divot. Don't worry about that, we're gonna cover it. And then we will have our summer folder. They all look exactly the same except for the papers from Pion with the beautiful fairies. That is what's different. Look how cute. I love this little blue one. Okay, and then it has their decorative papers here. Sorry, the camera is moving. And then whatever cardstock pocket you chose, plain cardstock, 3 pieces of packaging paper, a smaller one, and my window's trying to come out, so I'm going to try and stick that back underneath my post-it there. You don't have to label them, I just thought it was a little bit easier for me to keep everything straight. And then here's our fall packet. And you might, while you're die cutting, cut out the words autumn or fall, and then winter, spring, and summer if you want your tabs to have labels right here, which I will. You could also put a label, you could use letter stickers, you could stamp it on there, whatever you want to do. If you do decide to stamp it or label it, just make sure you don't put it on just yet, because I'm probably going to cover mine or ink mine or all of the things. Maybe I'll even paint it, I don't know. I think I'm going to cover it with book page, and then we can label it. So there is that is all that we need. And then you will also have your ephemera sheets all cut out like these ones here, and then that means we are ready to get crafting. Okay, so when you are cutting your extra windows out of cardstock or book page or whatever it is, you'll want to save the negative space, and I'm going to show you why. So for mine, I'm going to go ahead and die cut out one like this, just kind of around, so that I can cover my jackets in book page. You might want to use decorative scrapbook paper, music page, something festive or seasonal for each of the seasons. I'm just going to go ahead and use some book page, but like I said, you can use anything that you would like. So we're going to go ahead and roll out. I've got the multi-purpose platform, the clear acrylic plate, and the platform is on tab 2. I'm going to go ahead and put my book page in just like this, and then I'm going to set the window kind of central so that I can cover. If you want to measure, go ahead and measure how much exactly you will need. I can do 2 pieces of book page at a time with this die. Then I'm going to put the other clear plastic plate and run it through. There's my first pass and my second pass. And basically what I want out of this die cutting is just to have the negative space, but we're going to save the window as well for later. And all of these little pieces you can use to decorate with little clusters or whatever, or you can toss them if you don't like saving tiny little scraps. But my plan for this book page is to go all around the jacket for each signature, and then I can decorate it with something more festive. But you can see this will just glue on here, and if I have any extra, I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. So I'm just going to go ahead and collage these jackets with book page. I'm going to use some Nuvo glue right now, and then I will go over them all with collage medium just so that it stays. I'm going to put that on a time lapse just so you don't have to watch every second of me gluing. Have all of our signatures covered, everything's cut and ready to go. So you should have your windows, your file folders, your papers, and everything all in 4 signatures ready to go. I covered mine in book page, but like I said, you can decorate the jackets however you would like. I'm going to decorate mine a little bit later, but I do think I'm going to go through and look at a dictionary that I have and find the definitions for fall, winter, spring, summer, and maybe fairies or something like that, and add those to my book pages. But you can use pretty scrapbook paper, you can use inks, you can use color glows. I'm going to add some color glows for sure. And then I'm also going to figure out what I want to put on the tabs. I've already covered the tabs with some book page, as you can see here, but I'm going to color them and you know, put the words on them. For like winter would go here. Maybe I'll use a punch or an eyelet or a brad or something like that, or even an eyelet with a charm. That would be really cute. And then I do have my cover all ready to go. Well, sort of. I'll cover the book page anyways. The spine piece here I left exposed on both sides, and that's because I'm not actually at my craft room. So at home I have some duct tape, but I'm going to take 2 strands, run one here, and then overlap it here. Same on the other side. That just gives it a little extra strength and support. You can also use Tyvek or any other thing that you have that you like to support your spines with. And then I'm going to find fabric and put it over there, and I'll probably just do a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch with my sewing machine just along the lines and around the edges. Now you can sew any pieces of your journal if you would like, or you don't have to. Either way, that is okay. And here is what we have so far to get started with our Four Seasons of Fairies kit, limited edition, exclusively made for everyone by White Rose Crafts. And if you want to follow along and craft with me, you can join us over at the White Rose Crafts Gallery. If you're watching from the gallery, hey girls, hey!